Hey guys, I'm Gina and I make videos on organization and intentional living. And today I'm going to be sharing with you, oh my God, I gotta do this. So pregnant. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you my lessons, my top lessons from my 2 failed businesses. So prior to this brand that I'm currently building, I had 2 businesses before. So one, I was building an agency by myself. It was a online business manager and virtual assistant business, and I was doing that one on my own. And then the second one, the next year, so it was year 1, full-time self-employment. Year 2, I decided to partner with somebody, and that also did not go so well. So this brand that I'm currently working on now, with YouTube and with the blog and some of the products that I am going to be working on throughout this whole year, I won't launch them until the 4th quarter. That's what I did before. So I wanted to tell you guys the lessons that I learned from these failures, because unfortunately in business, your first try, your second try, your third try, your 4th try it might not work out. And you have to kind of be okay with that and take the lessons and apply them. So for me, I wanted to sit down and share with you guys the major takeaways that I had that are now helping me to do better this time around. So the first lesson, number 1, and this is a massive one, and this is a mistake that I see people make all the time, is do not put pressure on your baby business to be your sole source of income. Don't do it. Like, don't do it. Because, gotta lean back. Because, and I think that this was probably my biggest screw up, is, instead of getting even if I was going to work from home full-time so I could work on my actual business, even just getting a long-term, steady, almost full-time virtual assistant gig would have helped me out exponentially more than just diving in full force, because you don't really realize what you're getting into. You have to think that you are responsible for your own taxes. You're responsible for everything. It stops with you when you are a small business owner. And that means that for a very long time, probably your whole first year, the business itself cannot sustain you taking an owner's draw. So you need to think about that. And for me, because we all need a certain amount of money to be able to pay our bills every month. There's no getting around that. It's not like, oh, I'll be fine if my owner's draw is just $500 this month. I can still make rent. I can still make my car note. That's not true, even in the slightest. So you want to make sure that you have something in place, some sort of steady stream of income that is taking care of your 4 walls while you're building your business. And Dave Ramsey says this, but go at the speed of cash on growing your business. Don't put that kind of pressure on it, because when you put that pressure on it, that desperate energy is all over everything that you're doing. And it causes a train wreck of other decisions that you'll make down the line that could ultimately break your business. Now, these are just the lessons that I had, and I had it happen for two years. You just could not gain traction. So there were other mistakes that I made that could have contributed to that, but I know that desperate, oh my God, I have to make blah, 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 caused me to make some other decisions and learn some other very hard lessons that I'm going to share with you some more in this video. So lesson number 2, this is a hard one to talk about because I like to think of myself as of reasonable intelligence. And I also worked, prior to self-employment, I was a project manager for multi-billion-dollar companies. I managed budgets that were almost $1 million per quarter. So like, I would consider myself, and that's not like a humble brag or anything, that's just to let you guys know, I thought that I was really smart and couldn't have the wool pulled over my eyes, or however you want to put it. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm just as easily sucked in as the next person, and it's because I put myself in a desperate place. So tip number 2 is do not get sucked into the 6-figure overnight fantasy land. That is, I think, a cancer of the online business world. Don't do it, because the only people that are making that money are the ones claiming that you can make that kind of money that quick. Now, there are people that have actually done it, doing service-based businesses, and that's great. But what I have found is they are the minority and not the majority. So there are people that have done it, and they have done it legitimately. But the ones that I have found that have done it illegitimately. And I can say this with confidence because I have worked behind the scenes for one of those people. So you cannot substitute hard work and being smart and taking your time. Now, sometimes we end up in situations where our business has to support us. That's what happened to me. I got laid off and then just went into unemployment and went into self-employment because we were moving, and there were just so my circumstances, I felt, dictated my business had to support me and replace my corporate income. That was a limiting belief that I had, and then it caused me to get sucked into some shady shenanigans. So don't do it. So tip number 3, don't give up on whatever your original vision was. So the brand that I'm currently building now and I'm working on is called the Sassy COO. And one day I'll tell you guys the story behind that. But what's hilarious is way on back when I was originally getting started in the online business space, I wanted a awesome lifestyle blog with a YouTube channel and digital products. And I strayed from that because, one, I got sucked into 6-figure fantasy land, and I put too much pressure. Like I just strayed from it because I was trying to get to $10,000, $20,000 a month in like 30 days. Being a service provider and then building out an agency and having it make $250,000 a year. And I was trying to do that in a hurry. And that wasn't really what I wanted to do. What I genuinely enjoy is helping other women who are functional hot messes like myself be less of a functional hot mess and like find, like the joy in nerdy things. And I lost sight of that trying to become a millionaire overnight because of all the things that I was hearing. So, which then, again, circling back to lesson number 1, all of these lessons trickled from that. So, lesson number 4, and this was another big one for me. If I had not done lesson number 1, which was putting all of the pressure on my little baby business to pay my bills, I would not have stayed with a nightmare client just for the sake of, because I needed the money. So it can't be avoided, but do your best to avoid, I have to take this person, I have to do this, I have to do that because I need the money. I have to pay my bills. We, a lot of times as entrepreneurs, go into business to give ourselves freedom, right? So if you end up with a nightmare client, they're going to be calling you at all hours. They're not going to respect you. They're not going to respect your work, and they're going to they're energy vampires, which, because they're sucking all of your energy and they are just screaming at you and demanding your time all the time, you're not going to apply that energy elsewhere that could grow your business. So just don't do it. I mean, if you're going to take on nightmare clients because for the sake of needing the money, and and you're going to be miserable all the time in your dream business, you might as well have just stayed at that job that you couldn't stand, which is why you left. Because at least there you had health insurance and they paid your taxes, and they told you what to do. All you had to do was show up to your job and go home. So you might as well have stayed there. I mean, if you're going to get in the cycle of, oh my God, I need the money, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to take this person. Yes, they're crazy, but I need the money. Just don't do that. Otherwise, stay put. So I learned way more along the way, but these were the major ones that stuck out to me. Honestly, it's really kind of hard for me to sit here on camera and talk about this and be vulnerable. And these were hard learned lessons. And I learned the lessons because, well, I jumped in feet first into the deep end. So there was no other way I wasn't going to learn the lessons, but I did learn the lessons and I'm applying them. So that's why this time around I have a part-time day job, and I still side hustle as a virtual assistant and an online business manager to make sure that all of my four walls and all of my responsibilities are taken care of. And then I am working on this brand as I can. So like today I'm sitting down and I'm going to batch record as many videos as I can, because I know y'all can see I got a bun in the oven, and if I want this to grow and I want to be consistent, then I have to do all the work in the beginning. But those are things that I learned from these failures. And even though failures aren't a bad thing. Failures are only a bad thing if you quit. And I haven't let it stop me. I just take them and I learn from it. And then I apply the lessons and make sure I don't ever repeat that mistake again. So that's why, because a lot of people, and I could probably hear people going, see, that's why I don't, blah, 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 I've never tried, I've always wanted to, but whatever, insert fear-based belief here. If you don't try, or if you quit after one hard bump, then that's when you lose. But if you keep going and you apply what you learned, you're going to get where you want to go. Because time is usually all that it takes. Time and consistency are really some of the key ingredients. And just being smart about it and being strategic and slow. I'm a true tortoise and the hare story. So take what I've learned and apply it to what you're doing. And you guys, let me know in the comments, have you ever failed at business before? What are some lessons that you've learned along the way trying to chase after a dream or get where you want to go? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And in the next video, we are going to be talking about some ways that you can save time for free. These are things that I do that just, I love clearing space for my brain and automating stuff. So these are some things that just make my life just so much easier. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, you guys.